How much money do you plan on making? Secure enough cash to fund your business from day one, startup, growth, and through maturation. This is going to involve an evolving business, right? Every day that you go into your business, it's working towards the future. So you're going to want to make sure that you secure enough cash for the future. If you don't have enough, your business may be forced to liquidate, even if it's profitable. All right, if you're selling equipment to pay bills, even though you know in 3 months you're going to have this other order that comes in that's going to pay for all that, and you could probably buy a new truck, that's still poor money management, right? That's not sticking with the flow of the business, all right? So you want to make sure that you're not forced to liquidate at any time. Cash flow projection will help that because you're going to be looking at years ahead. Cash, 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 right? Projected cash flow. I want to see a graph that indicates your projected cash flow in addition to the table in the Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to give you. Net cash flow versus cash balance. Cash going out versus cash going in. You're also going to want to give an indication, and if you can, maybe do a graph for years 1, 2, and 3. Of course, because these are projections, right? So you want to see how many cash is collected in year 1, year 2, year 3, and hopefully those numbers are going up. If they're not going up, redo your business plan so that they are going to go up. You need to increase something or decrease something. Either way, you got to make sure that the investor sees your cash flow projections showing that you're going to continue to make money more and more and more every year. All right, cash flow direct method versus indirect method. I'm going to be honest, I'm not like the best person to talk to about this. Let's just stick with the cash flow template I'm giving you, because that's more for what you guys are doing. Because this is indicating direct method and indirect method, two completely different kinds of businesses. The indirect method, putting a lot of emphasis on depreciation and other expenses. But we'll just go off the template. I don't want to confuse anybody. Once again, for your financial plan, I need to see a balance sheet, an income statement, and a cash flow statement, right? I also want to see words that describe each one of these, giving rationale for any decisions or anything that might be in any box. Okay? Have just as much description on this as you have on your marketing plan, if not more. Next class, we're going to be talking about management team. I'm going to bring up the, let's do the Excel spreadsheets first. Bring those up, and then I'll go over, I think I'm done after that because I already did ag plans. So let me bring that up. And I want you to completely understand this here. But what stinks is I can never get this thing formatted so it fits. Ooh. Okay, that might work. All right, folks, I'm just going to sit here because it's going to be easier. What I've given you is this Excel spreadsheet. Does everybody have Excel? That's not a problem for most folks. I sent you a link on the email to OpenOffice, which is a free word processing software. So if you don't have the software, please download it. It's free. And what we have here is on the left, top left corner, we have the sheets that are included on your financial plan. Revenue, money coming in. Expenses, money going out. Hey, look at that thing. Income statement. You're not going to be able to fill out an income statement without these two. Use of funds. This is a great document you're going to want to include for any of your lenders. All of your lenders are going to want to know exactly what you're spending every dollar on. In addition to stating this in words in your business plan, as I indicated in the rubric, you definitely want to have a table stating how you're going to spend all of your money, right? Depreciation value. Statement of retained earnings. How much money are you making after dividends, draws, taxes? Hey, look at this thing, a balance sheet. And we'll go over it in a sec. And then statement of cash flow for years 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's more over there. Let's go back up to revenue. So, in this document, you're going to want to print off a hard copy as well. It's really easy. It's much easier to print off a hard copy and fill it out by hand and then punch in the numbers later than trying to go back and forth. Some people find that to be easier. That's what I like to do. Do it however you want. How much money are you going to make off your services that you're providing month to month? That's just services. If you're producing a crop, don't put anything in that section. It's only for services. Are you getting rent for any reason? Crop revenue for property A. I had her set this thing up so that folks that have multiple properties can put all of their income and revenue on one sheet. So if you only have one property, only use property A. Added value products revenue. So in addition to selling whole cacao beans, you might be selling chocolate as well. So two different sections. You have your crop up there and you have your added value below. Total revenue. And this is for another year, right? So I think she's got 2 years in there for your revenue projection. Expenses. Well, of course, you got to pay people, right? Remember that some businesses might have one person in multiple roles, right? So you're going to want to indicate the salary and expense for each one of those roles. You're not going to want to put on there CEO, CFO, CPO, total $85,000. Nope. You're going to want to break it up evenly based upon the effort and time that it takes to do those positions. Be aware that financial structuring and understanding all the accounting, that takes an awful lot of time. So you got to pay yourself or pay that person accordingly, especially if you're doing multiple roles. Okay? Payroll expenses. Lease or rent. Are you renting your property? Are you leasing any property at all? Utilities expenses. Gas, cable, water, phone. Insurance expenses. Property, crop insurance. Please get crop insurance. It's cheap. It's worth it. Vehicle insurance. How much is your insurance payment for all of your cars? Your business insurance license. Professional fees. Do you have any accountants? Do you have a bookkeeper that looks over your stuff quarterly, that audits you? Please, once your business becomes big enough, at least once a year, audit yourself so that whoever's running your finances, you take that financial data, a whole year's worth, and you give it to a CPA, and it costs you $300 for them to look it over, and then they realize, oh my God, your financial person's been skimming off the top, or these numbers are way off. You know, you wouldn't know unless you audited yourself. It only costs a couple bucks. Always check up on people. People make mistakes. They're human beings, okay? Using software, you still have human error, right? So, accountant, consultants, operating expenses, your taxes, advertising and marketing expenses, cleaning supplies for your office. Everything is in here. Seeds, fertilizers, small tools. How much for weed mat, amendments, shipping? So you got farm expenses for farm B, right? And then you got other farms. Depreciation. and miscellaneous expenses. Startup business costs. How much is your working capital versus construction, as well as construction costs? Was there a cost for your building plan, for your building permits, for your cesspool, bulldozing, contracting? Versus, you know, you have leased equipment up at the top and then you have purchased equipment below. Your purchase inventory, purchase supplies, fixed assets, and then all the way at the bottom, we have our totals. So you have your startup business fees, what it takes, the expenses to start up your business before you open your doors on the first day. That's what this sheet is explaining. Income statement. With these two tables, and if you were to say fill them out, the totals that are on the bottom down here will populate into the income statement. And it'll break it down. She has it structured through, I think, through year 5. Revenue for service provided, expenses, depreciation, operating expenses, basically breaking down how much money you're getting in through the other two documents populating into this one. Use of funds, expenditures. So you get a loan, what are you spending it on? And then if there's anything that's paid by you, as you know, if you're putting in, say, 20% investment in your business, that's not a stupid thing to do. Doing 100% in your business, that's pretty foolish. But, you know, take a gamble. Maybe put 20, 30% in your business. How many expenditures are yours? Your total expenditures, which will populate into your statement of retained earnings. You have your depreciation. Cost of my truck, $25,000. Cost asset divided by 36 months. Depreciation value is $640 after 36 months. Okay? Straight line for 5 years, for 7 years, for 10 years. So this is on how long you plan on paying off whatever your expenditure is. So this down here would be like your mortgage loans, that kind of thing. Okay? Statement of retained earnings. Your beginning balance versus your income. How much did you draw out and your ending balance. Balance sheet. Current assets. I kind of went through one of these earlier. Current assets. Property and plant equipment. This is all the stuff that is the value, the total value, assets, liquidity of your business versus the liabilities. How much goes out, total liabilities, and it'll populate into your balance sheet. All you gotta do is fill in the gaps, guys. Just fill in the numbers. If there's a question as to if you should be, you know, if you should put anything in here, come with me with any of those questions. I can see if I can help you out. If not, I can forward you on to somebody else who can. Certain things like you may not want to donate to Goodwill. You know, that's fine. Just leave it blank. Put a 0 in there, and it won't populate over to the next one. Okay. Statement of cash flow. How much you're getting from your customers, interest received, payments from inventories, cash flows for investing activities. How much did you purchase your property for? How much did you purchase the equipment for in that 1 year? You know, if you only have one piece of property here and then in year 2 you acquired a new farm, 8 acres somewhere else, you need to purchase equipment for that farm, you'd put that over here, yeah? Cash flow for financing activities, payments of note payable, paid dividends, and cash withdrawals. You would never be able to fill this out if you don't take records every single day and you know where everything is going and you know what you grew and you know what fertilizers you put out and I mean, it all comes down to having flawless record-keeping skills. And that's it, guys. So with this, you will have a statement of cash flow, income statement. Whoops, I didn't mean to switch that. And your balance sheet. I couldn't have made it any easier for you. All right, so you got this in your email. Please fill it out. And we won't tell any of the evaluators that I gave this to you. All right? They're going to be impressed that you all have the same template. It's amazing. I don't care. I get paid either way. All right, so there it is, folks. Financial section. This is the hardest one. This is the one where people stop doing the business plan and drop out of the class. Stick with it. Get it filled out. Remember, use real numbers if you can. If you can't, put in fake numbers and indicate that somewhere else that you're putting in fake numbers, and in your appendix, have a list of all the areas that you don't have solid data on, but you will show that you will be at some point looking for that solid data. Okay? If nothing else, when you present your business plan, show you're making money. Please show you're making money. Or will be. Yeah, you have 2 or 3 years in there to start making some money. But you have to show that you're slowly moving your way upwards financially. We're going to go over management plan next time. I want you to think about who you are. Right? Who truly are you when it comes to a business person, management material? Okay? Be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Because when it comes down to it, you know for a fact if you could handle these roles and responsibilities. All right? You're the only one that knows for true. Right? You could tell people BS all day, but you're the only one who knows. So when we go through the roles, I'm going to describe to you what is expected of each one of the managerial roles. And then we'll do a little activity basically where we'll separate the groups out, and we'll figure out who in the room is more of a financial person, who is definitely a marketing person, who's there just loving to tell people what to do. And yeah, so we'll figure out where you belong. And you'll actually notice that across the room in the opposite corner, you may have a potential business partner waiting for you. All you need to do is walk across and shake their hand. Okay? That's it. Boy, we got out early today. No worries. I do. I get to go home early. Any questions at all? Did you learn something today?
I like to be CEO.
Actually, if I was to choose, I'd put you in my operating. You'd be my operating manager.
I don't want to get paid. I want stock.
That's a perfect CEO. Doesn't want to get paid. I want that.
I want stock.